Toastmaster Umamaheswari is clap single. Is clap single Toastmaster Umamaheswari.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Is clap single? Let me get back to you on it. Before that, let me share a small incident from my life. It was a busy afternoon. My train is at 3 p.m. and my husband was rushing me to go to the railway station at 2:30 because we have to cross the traffic, reach the railway station, and half an hour is almost a neck to neck time. He was urging me, come on, let's go. You will miss your train. And I was just searching in my bag. Yes, I'm coming. Wait. And packed my bags. I went along. Luckily we reached the station 10 minutes prior, and we were sitting in our seat, waiting for the announcement, first from the station, and then the train sound, and finally the train. We were sitting, and my husband was giving me all sorts of advice since I'm traveling alone. Be careful, don't talk to strangers, all those things, just like as if he's sending a 10-year-old alone in a train. I was just listening to all his advices because even if I talk in between, he will start from once again from the start. Be careful, don't talk to strangers, and everything. So I was just listening to him, and out of blue, we suddenly heard a commotion on the side. A well-grown, big-built man with a heavy beard, he was intimidating a small girl over. That girl I was able to see the girl was frightened to the core. She was frightened, much afraid looking at him, and that guy was intimidating over here, looking at her and saying, and he was scolding her in all sorts of ways. I was not able to digest that situation, digest that picture, and out of blue, that man suddenly shouted, I will destroy you. That word broke me. I suddenly stood up. My husband, he was trying to pull my hand to make me sit down. See, this is nothing related to you. Don't go. I just let his hand away. I went over there, grabbed that girl next to me, and I asked him, is that guy bothering you? And the answer I got was completely different. She said that guy was her father. It was a heavy interlude at that time. I don't know what to say. I just let out an awkward smile, the sorry, and came back to my seat. My husband, he was literally throwing fires through his eyes. Haven't I told you to sit down? What isn't there for you? Why are you creating this scene? So much embarrassment with you. Are you a moral police? Why do you want to do all these things? I was not able to lift off my head. I don't want to see the eyes of people around me, either with sarcasm. What isn't there for you? Now, what happened? Or people with sympathy. Why are you doing this? I don't want to see those eyes. I was just keeping my head down, tears welling in my eyes. I was threatening to fall down. I just don't want to see anyone. I was just sitting. My husband started shouting in a low tone because he doesn't want others to listen. Luckily, the train came. He came along with me near the door. Once I boarded on the train, I looked at my husband. He looked at me and said, keep quiet and go to your place. Don't do any gimmicks in between. He said, and he left. I was so embarrassed to the core, don't want to see anyone, just kept my head down, went to my seat, sat. To avoid seeing people, I just took my headphones, wore it in my ears, started looking at the moving sceneries through the window. Suddenly a voice came. Excuse me. I just looked up and there was a girl standing. She asked, can I sit here? Boss, this is not my own train. You can sit anywhere. But I don't want to say it out. So she sat next to me and just said, I know you. Now I was surprised. How does she know me? I was looking at her with a questioning eyes. I said, your father-in-law, my father, are close friends. I was like, oh. And she said, I know you even before that. Now I was even more intrigued. How does she know me even before that? She said, do you remember you used to travel from Chennai to Chidambaram every Friday? Yes, I had 2 years of my life where my family is staying in Chidambaram. I was staying in Chennai for my work, and every Friday I used to travel there, and Monday I will come back to work. I said to her, yes. I was there in that bus. I was so surprised because there are hundreds of people every day or even every day. But how can we remember one person? She recollected that incident. It was the middle of the night, almost like 11:30, 12. You were sleeping. An old lady was sitting next to you. She was waking you up and saying something. You woke up in half sleep, listened to her, got up, went to the driver's seat, asking him to stop the bus. You helped the old lady get on the bus to relieve her nature's fall and make her to get into the bus again. I was sitting on the opposite side of the seat and I was seeing everything working. And I understood the meaning of kindness that time. Because the next day morning, that lady, she got down even without saying a bye to you. When you got up and when you saw that lady was missing, you never even bothered. You just get down and went. Never even thought why that old lady didn't say even a thank you or a goodbye to you. At that time, I understood what kindness means. And after that, she said one statement. I used to see many times, and I just want to share this with you, but I don't know how. Now I understood this is the best time to share it. She never gave me a sympathetic glance. She never gave me a sarcastic glance. But she said, what you did was right. Maybe that girl was the daughter of that man. But in future, when my daughter is traveling alone, someone is intimidating. That time, some other Umamaheswari can help my daughter. There is nothing wrong in intervening and helping others. I realized clapping hands may be single or multiple. From her words, I understood when I clap with my hearts, with kindness, it definitely will not be single and will become multiple. So, Toastmaster of the day, is clapping single, maybe single or multiple, depends on how you clap with your hands or your heart. Over to you.
Speech from Toastmaster Umamaheswari. Toastmaster Umamaheswari intrigued audience attention by posting the query, is clap single? After she asked the question, I had a thought like, how possible is this? We are going to have something different message from her speech. Yes. In the start of her speech, by posting the query, she intrigued all audience attention. Then she started to narrate the story like her personal experience, the usual human mindset when we are preparing for journey, and how she reached the station 10 minutes before. Everything is narrated very, very clearly in her speech. Once she reached the station, during the interlusion, the incident happened between daughter and father, and the way how she interacted, and at the end, how she felt that incident. It was clearly articulated, and also as per the project objective, the entire scene was explained with proper verbal expression. I can easily understand, I can easily visualize the incident. So in that much, she has articulated that. At the end, she gets shamed once that girl told like that was her father. Once she get shamed, she has clearly explained what would be the typical human reaction when we are shamed in public, like putting the headphone in the ear and then um, keep the head down and not looking anywhere and looking simply inside the outside the window and watching the scenery. It's all resonate with all of us almost because this is what would happen usually, right? So once she narrated that, it took me to the instant when I was traveling uh, during Tirupati trip. So it would happen to everyone in this audience. And then it was like a turning point in her speech. The girl, once she came back near to her and sat down and she told that she knew her very well, right? So that moment was being like a unexpected moment, I would say. I had a thought like till her speech, there is nothing to say like uh, can have a single clap, right? So once that moment is reached, I got the clue like, so something's going to happen. So the way how she told that is really appreciable. And in that story, that moment was being a turning point. After that, the girl revealed that how she knew her very well and how what was the instant happened before and how she left without appreciated, though the people were get benefited because of her activities. So all these things were articulated very emotionally in her speech as per the project objective like vocal variety. At the end of the speech, she concluded that with a powerful message like though people are not clapped for her despite she is doing good things. She ended up with like with the message like clap with my hearts with kindness, right? So the at the end she reached the title is clap symbol. She clearly articulated how she, in her speech. The speech was started with the question like the possibility for clap symbol, and then she started the story very clearly. And in between, there is a turning point when the girl don't like she know her and how it came to the objective like claps into heart and then she ended up with a very punchful message. Throughout her speech I can see the vocal variety very effectively and the way she narrated the speech was very clear. It reached all the audience. um uh, Actually, I don't see any flaw in her speech. Everything went well, and it was like a good speech. The only thing I noticed was, as I told earlier, in the turning point, like when she gets shamed and she kept in the sheet without looking others, that time the girl came near to her, right? In that moment, she would have added additional emotion to express her feelings, how it would be changed from sad to something like once the person coming back to speak with her. That would have been added in the speech. Other than that, it was like watching a movie. It's like I can completely visualize the entire speech. So, thank you, Toastmaster Umamaheswari. Thanks for giving such a wonderful speech to us. And in her speech, though we are brave, we are not in a we mostly we won't like to act on that situation. You step forward and you are not rewarded for the things you have done before. However, that was appreciated by the girl later. It's a really good moment and it is like takeaway for us. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Priyank. Sorry, Toastmaster Nimeta. Thank you.